Hello everybody. This is a video that I've been trying to make for a while. I've been just waiting for the opportunity to get out and make a new pipe. This is, as it's most commonly called, a iron horse pipe. Very good design. They run well. They're loud. They've got enough back pressure, but they're very loud. They do produce a lot of horsepower, especially compared to a stock saw, or one with a muffler, such as this one, but we can improve on this design. Again, it's a great design, great to start getting people into pipes. It's very easy to make. It's 3 parts. This, the main body, and the actual mount. The main body of it, for me, I just make it out of whatever pipe I have lying around. This, I believe, was just a piece of 1.25" or 1" EMT. And then the stinger coming off it at 90°, but it has to be, I make mine flush with the top to help with the flow, and I keep mine pointed up a little. It's not straight across like that, it's tilted up a little bit. This is just, again, to help with flow. Stuff I found helps. This is the exact pipe that you guys have seen run on some of my shorts and my latest video. This is a new design of pipe. You've got the same main body, but instead of being a regular end cap, behind this, back about here, I started I guess you could call it a flow deflector. It just helps with the exhaust gas flow. The exhaust comes out there, comes up, swirls, keeps swirling, comes out right there and down. I know these are a little long. I just finished welding this as of about 10 minutes ago. And tomorrow, I'm going to start testing by slowly cutting these back about 1/4 inch at a time. Each time you've got to take it either off the saw or ensure no chips make it into the exhaust port, because that will blow up your saw, unfortunately. But I will keep cutting these back slowly until I reach a point where I start noticing that I'm losing throttle response rather than gaining it. Cutting these back will help with throttle response the most, but will slightly affect your torque values. The main benefit to this is, as you heard on the latest short, it sounds really nice. It's not a lot quieter, but it's quieter enough to notice the difference. It's a good middle ground in noise between standard iron horse pipe and a muffler. And this is loosely based off of the Key to the Bush muffler, but this has a lot more internal geometry, both in the main body, on these side plates, and in this tube. Someday, depending on how well this goes, I might show some of this. I spent a lot of time in different CAD softwares and flow simulators, simulating the flow of a 2-stroke without getting too far in depth into it. Because the piston comes down to open, it doesn't open all at once, so there's a natural flow to it. There's a natural swirling to the exhaust gases, which I'm capitalizing with this, using it as a cylinder to actually help increase the turbulence and the swirling of the exhaust gases out of here. I know what you're thinking. What does this guy know? Why hasn't anyone else tried it? People have. What I haven't seen before is people put the amount of time into the internal geometries within this pipe mainly, and these stinger tubes, to help with the flow and help create the right turbulence, the correct turbulent flow. This still, however, is not a tuned pipe. Cutting these just only, it does affect it, but it doesn't tune it. There is no way to make this pipe a tunable pipe without it being an actual expansion chamber like on the dirt bike or on hot saws. However, cutting these back will affect the flow, and that in turn will affect the torque and the throttle response. Changing this diameter of this pipe, or these will also have the same effect. Changing the overall length of it from there will also have an effect. All of these are values that, except for this, the length of this, are values that I have taken time to put time into and research into how they will react with each other and how they will flow together within flow simulator softwares and with previous knowledge of making pipes similar to this. The other main consideration you have to make, which is why this length isn't longer or shorter, is chain brake. If you look, there is still plenty of clearance between the chain brake and the pipe. Release it, naturally, there's that much. And then there's that much when the chain brake is engaged. That's one of the main considerations when building a pipe that you have to take into account is the chain brake placement when it's engaged and disengaged. I have been guilty of it myself many more times than I'd like to admit. Making a beautiful, intricate pipe, it sounds great. And at the very end, I gotta try the chain brake, and it doesn't engage. And you have to either cut apart or completely rebuild the pipe from scratch. With any luck, tomorrow, I will have a chance to start cutting these pipes back and get to a point where these dogs are functional again. And also, I have the best mixture of throttle response and torque that I can out of it. It's a slow process. It's a process that takes a lot of time and effort. But when you get a pipe that truly produces crack and pull, to quote Buck and Billy Ray or Tin Man Saws, it's great. There's nothing better than a pipe that actually really works. Have I gotten to try this pipe in the wood? No, but when I first bolted it on, even compared to this, it did richen the saw up significantly more again. This indicates to me that this most likely will be a successful design. It also indicates that, given everything else, I should hopefully have something that produces a lot more torque. Overall, it wasn't easy. There's a lot of work that goes into it. I personally brazed these together. I find they're the best. It holds up great. This pipe has hundreds of hours on it at this point. I don't even know how many tanks of fuel, and it hasn't blown apart. But if I needed, I can heat this piece up, pop the end caps off, and change the internal geometry, or completely disassemble the pipe and make small adjustments on the internals, or, for example, put on a new tube, new stingers, or even the main body. Everything, because it's brazed and not welded, I can just heat it up with an oxyacetylene torch, take it apart, and rebuild it. And I enjoy doing that because on prototypes such as this, if I welded it, I wouldn't be able to do that, and I'd have to completely start from scratch again. This just allows me to prototype a lot faster and easier than any other method. But overall, what I have to say is pipes, unless you're truly chasing horsepower, they're a lot of fun, but they're very loud. And if you're doing any residential work or you're working for a tree service, you can't have it. They're just too loud. Another factor to consider is there's no spark screens on this. It's just wide open exhaust, which can be against certain codes for working within certain areas such as state parks or logging in general in some states. Where I am, loggers can run these, but you have to be responsible and you have to put out any small fires you may cause. I personally have found that these In the West Coast style dual port mufflers, such as the ones Donnie Walker produces, they put out less sparks and less embers than a traditional muffler, such as this. That comes down to those having spark streams, which capture the carbon, and over time the carbon will flake off in large chunks that are on fire, and those at night you can sometimes see spitting out of the exhaust. These are all different things to consider when trying to build a pipe such as this, or build a known design pipe such as this. I don't want to discourage anyone. Building pipes is a lot of fun, and there's a lot to it. And in the end, even something as simple as... I apologize about that. I, once again, got a phone call in the middle of recording. This time, it was asking to borrow a different saw. But such is life. But as I was saying, these pipes take a lot of work, but they are very rewarding to build. They do increase power, they make some noise, but they're very cool. I know looks aren't everything, but something such as this, or a dual port muffler cover for a saw such as that, they have a style factor to them. It's not everything, but it can make you happy, and if it puts a smile on your face and makes you happy, it's worth it. But that's all I have for tonight. Stay safe, my friends. Have a great night.